Excellent.
That was a good show. What should we call it?
So I'm very disappointed that Showbot doesn't have the theory of elegance as the #1
But we could just
title
call it that.
suggestion. Well, yeah, well.
Oh, look what just got submitted. The theory of elegance.
I was going to.
And it's got a vote already. If you can't shave with a laser, don't shave. That's pretty good.
I like
actually.
it too.
And for
like
Silver
that.
Blade.
Ooh.
What?
It's pronounced dumb CA.
Ooh, look, 400 responses to the survey.
Nice.
Actually, I'm going to have to run.
No worries, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was a super fun show. And thanks, chat room, for being so kind as always. And thanks, Roger, for being awesome as always. And thanks, Ellie, for being Ellie as always.
We'll see you later, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Theory of elegance. I like the laser one because I like the word laser.
Well, it's a good word. Why wouldn't you like it?
And it's funny because it's an acronym, but over time it's just become a word.
Right. Masers were more popular at the beginning than lasers.
Yeah, but the problem is they couldn't actually get enough power out of them to do anything very useful. Although they did make a microwave.
Was it a maser? I thought it was radar.
What?
Would they use masers in the first microwaves? Because it was a radar that caused the chocolate bar to melt, which gave the guy the idea.
No. But the study of developing the microwave that you have at your home, not the idea of microwaves.
No, I'm talking about the microwave oven.
Yeah, the way I understood it, it was that it was a concurrent thing. That there's like, oh, we could use microwaves to. I think that came up before the advent of the.
Well, in the 50s, there was a guy working at what was it? It was one of the big aerospace contractors, not Northrop.
Rockwell?
I think it was Raytheon. It might have been Raytheon. I think it was Raytheon. And he was working at Raytheon, and he noticed a chocolate bar melted in his pocket when they were working on something because of microwaves, and it gave him the idea for a microwave oven.
History of masers.
But that's microwaves, not masers. They may have then used masers because they were more whatever practical in the radar range.
History, blah blah blah. Came out 52, 54. Principles. The first maser principle was proposed by Albert Einstein in 1917. I guess at the time he was tired of waiting for his supper to be reheated on the stove. There must be a way to make this process faster.
But that's masers, not microwave ovens. Those are not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah. Well, no, but the concept of using microwaves to heat things. The whole idea was, ow! If you want siblings, you got to be careful with your legs. In any case, they went with lasers because it turned out to be a much more practical product.
Right.
Hope the roof is done. Inhaled enough tar fumes.
Did it get quiet?
I hear now when they do the hot roofs, they used to have a little thing they would boil the tar in, and then
yeah.
But now they just lay out these sheets and then they take a blowtorch to it, or it looks like a blowtorch, but it's someone in the chat room might know, but it's a lot bigger, and it's used there to heat the compound or whatever they use, the tar compound.
Mein Gott. You know what? The only thing I don't like about modern television is it's not in sync. So I see things that are going to happen on my phone as a notification before they actually happen on television. Such as Javier Baez's 3-run homer just now.
I'm sorry. I'm curious to know if the Blue Jays will make it, because it'll be the first time in how long since a non-American team has played in the World Series.
93, I think, in the World Series, yeah.
I've always wondered why they didn't try to include Japan into. I mean, maybe change up the leagues a little bit so they would accommodate them or something.
Travel. I mean, first of all, they don't want the old days of where the National League and the AL didn't play each other are over. Back then, they might have done something to include Japan, but even then, Japan wasn't at the level yet, and so now it's just travel.
Because if they can do the TPP, they can wrap it into the Trans-Pacific Baseball.
Well, what they did instead was they started their own World Cup. They tried to call it the World Cup, and then the International Amateur Baseball Association told them they couldn't because there already was a World Cup. So they called it the World Baseball Classic.
Wait, but who runs that? Japan?
MLB.
Oh.
But they get players from the Japan League to be on the Japan team, and any Japanese players playing in Major League Baseball can also play on the Japan team. What?
I'm trying to nibble off her forearms to let go.
Doesn't sound like that.
Oh, does it?
Sounded a lot weirder than that. Sounded almost Lovecraftian.
Oh, like I was trying to...
like maybe one of the old ones had possessed you.
You know, they should really... Of all the things they haven't done movies based on, I don't think anyone's really done a good Lovecraftian movie in a while. I mean, there's plenty of novels and
they did an audio play of Lock and Key that supposedly Brian Brushwood says is great. That's something I might check out.
And of course, when you combine, I still want my Godzilla versus Cthulhu movie.
Well, there should be a monster tournament of movies. Kind of like how Marvel has that whole plan of movies. They could just have, like a tournament of movies. You could have like Kaiju versus Cthulhu, and then like Godzilla versus an alien invasion, maybe. I don't know.
Currently reading Godzilla in Hell, but I'm not too impressed just yet.
Really?
The comic book. It's just
I'm reading all the Star Wars comic books right now.
So this is the thing about reading all. It's the stuff that got transferred over from Dark Horse, right, to Marvel. And
I don't know if it got transferred or just like restarted, because these are canon, but none of the Dark Horse stuff is canon now.
Oh, it isn't?
Nope.
Ah, lame. That was one of the best parts.
Correct me if I'm wrong, people.
Well, I know that Dark Horse lost the license, and all the old reprints are getting reprinted by Marvel under.
Yeah, no, there's new. I'm not reading the reprints. I'm reading the new stuff.
Well, bugger all. I guess they'll get rid of the what was the alien race that the Tuvong or whatever that came. Remember? It was in the novels. It was like a extra galactic race comes. They're totally immune to the Force.
Oh no, I don't remember the name.
All their technologies is biology based. They grow.
I don't know that I've ever known the name. I didn't read any of the Dark Horse stuff. I'm sorry, Ellie.
I gave you a headset. Why don't you play with that one? Why must you play with the one that Daddy used?
TV Zegon says his friend Jason is doing a Lovecraft comic book series called Providence with some hack named Alan Moore.
Alan Moore. I wonder if he's still bitter.
Always bitter, never smooth.
That's probably why he makes you a better writer in a way, I think.
Definitely leads to a certain kind of story.
Well, I've often believed that the best art comes from conflict.
Then what about Paul McCartney?
I said great art Ever since he did that Christmas song, it's simply that song. It's really, they used to play it all the time during Christmas.
I mean, it's a fair point to say that Paul hasn't had nearly as many big hits since John died.
He might have hits, but I don't consider his music art in a way. Actually, in many ways. Some would say that the wrong Beatles left.
Oh, don't kill Paul. He's already dead. It's not the real Paul anyway.
I could say some really mean things, so I won't.
2 down, 2 to go, 2 down, 2 to go. They have to change. The Meat Puppets have to change that song.
Oh, there's another band I couldn't stand. Meat Puppets, Mudhoney. College was filled with a lot of bad bands. My college, anyway.
I think you mean the world? Maybe? 1 down, 1. My life is a constant state of trying not to forget things. Preparing myself already for old age.
I would.
Right now they're work things, but eventually there'll be things like going to the bathroom.
You know, from what I understand, as long as you keep working until you die, your system tends to kind of keep
compensate.
Up. There's something that happens when you retire and you suddenly just don't have things to worry about, like to constantly, process your mind. Process in your mind.
Yeah.
Like when you run a business, you got to worry about taxes. You got employees' payroll. It's a bunch of things. It kind of keeps the gray matter moving.
All right, friends. Well, we're going to stop this broadcast, but thanks for watching. If you've been wondering where Jenny is, she's off this week on a much well-deserved break, but she should be back next Monday. We'll see you tomorrow, and she'll see you then.